The latest benchmarks for GPT 5.5 only show part of the picture. OpenAI prioritized a distinct personality this cycle, moving away from the intelligence-only focus of previous years to give the model a voice. For the last 18 months, frontier models have been sliding toward a very specific, stiff output style. You've seen it, a cold, lengthy tone that reads like a courtroom transcript. That rigidity fails in the personal agent market, the category of tools meant to route your messages and draft your replies. When an agent manages your daily life, a formal help desk tone is a liability. You need it to sound human. Anthropic currently restricts its Opus tokens to its own internal harnesses. OpenAI is taking a different path by optimizing 5.5 to power the OpenClaw bucket, third-party agents that live entirely outside of OpenAI's own interface. This shift shows up in the text quality. Responses are shorter, it is less formal, and drops the standard preamble. It feels like you're talking to a person rather than querying a database. This forces developers and power users to make a choice. You have to look at your current tech stack and decide if your routing rules still make sense for a model that behaves this way. Choosing a model has become a question of the specific role you need it to play, whether you want a formal chatbot or an unchaperoned autonomous agent. The immediate friction point for anyone looking to migrate is the cost. GPT 5.5 has a higher per-token sticker price than 5.4. However, evaluating ROI based solely on that sticker price leads to inaccurate budget forecasting. In complex workflows, the top-line number is misleading. This chart reveals the actual economics. We see the high per-token price in red, but the green bar shows how many tokens are burned per task. To reach 5.4 level quality, the new model uses significantly fewer tokens, sitting at a 0.55x net burn rate. The model reaches its reasoning goals faster. This results in leaner code and tighter text, naturally limiting how many tokens you use per request. 3 compounding benefits: tighter logic, shorter response lengths, and massively reduced API waste. For real-world, large-scale workloads, switching to the more expensive model actually shrinks your net operational cost. OpenAI released this version in 2 flavors. Let's look at the developer-focused variant, Codecs. This chart maps the trade-off between GPT 5.5 and Opus 4.6. We're tracking interactive speed versus autonomous depth, and front-end design versus back-end structural work. GPT 5.5 Codecs dominates back-end execution and autonomous bug fixing, navigating large code bases without losing the thread. Hand it a product requirements document and let it run. It builds the system and performs visual inspections autonomously for hours. But Codecs has limits. Looking at the top of the map, Anthropic's Opus still holds the crown for front-end visual work. If your project requires an aesthetic, design-forward interface, Opus remains the superior choice for UI execution. Then there is the matter of wall clock execution speed. Opus 4.6 is noticeably faster. If your workflow relies on high-velocity, rapid-fire iterative prompting, where you steer the model constantly, 5.5 will feel like it's lagging. You have to choose between a lightning-fast copilot that requires constant steering or a slower, autonomous worker that can be left entirely alone. For enterprise power users, the focus shifts to the second flavor, GPT 5.5 Pro. This model has the capacity to grind on a single, highly complex problem for up to 90 minutes without timing out or losing context. Where older models produce sprawling walls of text, 5.5 Pro generates a structured, polished 60-page document with distinct formatting. Optimized for the Microsoft Word and Google Docs ecosystem, the Pro model produces ship-ready deliverables in a single run, a departure from the short paragraph drafts we've seen before. It handles architectural strategy, massive document synthesis, and deep research structuring entirely unassisted. However, you shouldn't use a deep thinking model for everything. Throwing this much compute at simple Q&A tasks leads to frustrating latency and wasted efficiency. The value of GPT 5.5 Pro lies in its ability to eliminate the human labor of formatting and structuring, rather than simply answering questions faster. To translate this into API routing decisions for your tech stack, we can use this framework. The first question is your priority speed and front-end iteration? If you need that immediate interactive feedback, you route your traffic to Opus 4.6. If your daily routine depends on tight conversational loops and UI design, switching your default model to 5.5 will likely slow your overall velocity. If speed isn't the primary factor, the next question is for agent builders. Do you need autonomous backend coding or long-form document generation? For those use cases, move to GPT-5.5. It gives custom agents their soul back and enables multi-hour, unchaperoned execution. You are accepting slower initial load times in exchange for the freedom to walk away from the keyboard while the task completes. GPT 5.5 functions as a highly specialized tool, which means you need to audit exactly what you are trying to hire the AI to do before you commit to rewriting your systems.